Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, the 8th of June, 2022, and I'm getting my veneers in finally on Monday, and so I'm really excited about that. So I won't be as self-conscious when I do these videos, but it is what it is. Yeah, so like a lot of research in the last few days. Again, a lot of discussions with certain groups, various groups. I don't just talk to government people either. I talk to I don't know, criminals. I talk like people of all different occupations, and yeah, so like I get a lot of information from people, and I was saying that there were people in government that risked their lives to get me information, but but there are a lot of other people too. So like even like embedded journalists and freelance people, and you know, obviously truckers and construction workers and things like that that are in my family as well, and send me stuff. Um, yeah, but they also share this stuff too. So the people that are in government, they just can't share information. That's why they give it to people. um, because like yeah, there's even people inside that are really trying to help this like end mandates and things like that, and just do see like a lot more concerns and issues with things that are going on in the world too globally. It's just they they are really putting the pressure on and resisting and asking questions to, like, again, the higher ups, especially now more. So, you know, the Chief of Defense Staff, Wayne Eyre, that is the person that needs to, sit down and do panels, like with other, you know, with advisors and consultants, and like really look at, like the Can 4 Gens that he had put out, everything that has been happening in the last while. And then Brenda Lucky from, she's head of the RCMP. So again, these are heads of departments that should know better and that are still on Google and not even getting off those browsers, which is, that's what I'm talking about being concerning, because like these are not people that are trained in hostile environment awareness training, believe it or not, and don't have like a lot of the niche skill sets that the people like in the special forces, for example, would have, like not even close, right? People from the Green Army or the regular army are usually selected, often handpicked, or just like excel in their fields, and then they go through a rigorous selection process in order to be in these organizations. But anyway, so like Wayne Eyre and Brenda Lucky, they don't have any of this advanced level training, or even like the cyber, you know, stuff. And so this is the frustrating thing, and you'd expect them to have this stuff, and then people in cabinet, so the cabinet members too, like Patty Hajdu and, you know, Theresa Tam and Kieran Moore. These are not people that have actual like experience in their fields remotely. And again, political science, I have one of those degrees too, and being on the FDA board committee, these are this is definitely like conflict of interest at the lower levels. But if it's a conflict of interest, and now there's more and more information coming out and proof that people in cabinet and in government at the higher levels, again, like not people that are just being lied to and manipulated and coerced, and literally still trying to just do the right thing for people. They're getting more caught and stuff like that. So these are all good things. Yeah, because then they will like they'll, again, just like more empathy, right? Like when you yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So people are still in Davos, still listening to the leaked videos, or what they're even publicly sharing to people, and seeing that when they talk about our health and vaccines and things like that, they get really excited. They're all like and smirking, and or like a little bit of concern. But as soon as they talk about profit margins, because it's the World Economic Forum, people, weirdos. Anyway, yeah, when they talk about losing profits or money, like I showed that on my Instagram, like they genuinely look super upset, right? So you can tell that these are people that value materials over humans, over beings in general too, and that includes animals as well. And yeah, I could go on tangents on that, but I want to stick to this. And so they're also, again, still talking about digital money, and this is not a good idea for so many different reasons. You know, like for example, if there's any like electromagnetic pulses that happen, then we wouldn't even be able to access our money, right? And so like, and for example, even if like major bank systems like shut down, like even for a 24 or 48 hour period, or a 5-day period, and then things were just like completely erased. Like again, like what, like how, like are you going to function or operate? And this is why even like even a few months ago, I started like taking out cash, because you have to put your money where your mouth is. And so the more people that take out cash, even if they don't need it, and I'm not saying a lot, but just even like $20 if you can afford it, like this just like sends a message to banks and banks owners and things like that too, right? Because they pay attention to this stuff, and so many other reasons. And so and when this stuff happens, then people are in fear and they can't acquire goods and services, and then they're in flight or fight, fawn or freeze. And if you've seen Stanford prison experiments, and if you haven't or don't know what I'm talking about, take a look at this stuff, because people can easily turn when they are afraid. Universe 25, MK Ultra, like I've shared a lot of stuff about that, so like I don't know if people are annoyed that follow me on that stuff, but if you're not aware of that, like please go on uncensored browsers and take a look at these examples that I give you on human behavior, and these are things I've learned in my my cognitive science courses. It's a science. I'm taking a science degree. I already have a political science degree and multiple other certifications, so yeah, like childhood development, you know, in all levels, and then adult stuff too, right? Like that stuff that that I teach, not that I teach, my goodness, that I'm being taught. Sorry, the opposite of that. But yeah, so like that's just one example. So if there's even if there's like electrical outages, right? Like not anything that's just like an EMP, like from like a third party or whatever that's deliberate. This could be accidental too, because the bigger cities get, the more electricity is needed, and whatever, and so things increase, and then things can like break down, or what do you want to call it? Like breakers can go out, or whatever, when there's just too much power surges, like in certain things. Like I'm clearly not an electrician, nor am I an electrical engineer. So this is just like stuff that I've read that just keeps me a little bit somewhat knowledgeable on how these systems work, because they're around me and they do seem to cause like health issues or concerns. And so, yeah, on that. So those, so where was I going with that? Okay, I was going to go on a lot of tangents today, but I was going to also split up my videos and then keep it where I'm not being super annoying. But, oh yeah, so I put on Twitter that my predictions for Canada is going to be this year. There's a few things, but like there's going to be concerns with the digital money. Like this cannot pass, so we need to make sure this doesn't pass. Anything that where there's like a global or international response to pandemics, that pandemic treaty, a lot of the amendments already off the table, which is amazing. But they wanted them to be signed, but just and not because of us, because we were compliant. Like we need to thank people like not people, but places like people in places like you know, China and Mexico and Saudi Arabia. There's like a lot of countries that were against these amendments for a lot of good reasons, and so yeah, I'm really appreciative of that. Oh my god. And so we don't want that, right? So like decentralized systems of governance in areas always seems to work the best after a period of evolution and progress and development. Yeah, so I'll keep it at that, and then just get on my point about a post that I put out there just for the call to prayer for the for Islam, and like I was just like a little bit confused, because like other people are just like, oh, like, oh, don't you hate like, not don't I hate, but like don't I have like conflicting like opinions on, I guess, like the Middle East or Muslims, and I'm like, what? Why? You know, I'm just curious. It's just like, oh, because like you went overseas, you know, and you've like you fought in a war and in the military as an infantry officer and all this stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, and I'm like, it's because like I live in a relatively safe, multicultural society, and I had been reading a lot about a lot of, you know, genocide and mass amounts of people that were slaughtered in places like Afghanistan for like since the 90s, the late 90s, because of religious extremists. Extremists. I wouldn't even say religious. It doesn't matter, but extremists that were going through, and I don't know how true all of it was, and if the amount was true, but we were told that like hundreds of thousands at the lower end, right? And this is, and what I'm saying is, I'm talking about women that wanted to go to school, children that wanted to go to school or be in safe areas, anyone that wanted to be like not that wanted to be, sorry, anyone that was born homosexual. These were all considered to be sins, and then things went from being where most people were relatively free to women were wearing, you know, burqas and hijabs and like yeah, and again things, and so like so we actually, the whole reason for going there was to try to help people and defend people that weren't able to defend themselves, and there's like whole lot of layers to unpack with that too. And like once I went there, I realized that that was possibly like not the best way of helping. Like we were doing a lot of other things too, right? Like building schools and trying to like meet with locals, doing key leader engagements. Like there was a lot of good, but I'm just, excuse me, saying that based on um, whatever you want to call it, life. Things don't always like end well, and it is what it is. But um, definitely, like the majority of people are absolutely that I know that like serving, and not even just the military, right? Because these are people that voluntarily joined to be of service to not only Canadians but like to people all over the world, right? Because like what do militaries do? We deploy, or they deploy. I'm retired now, but I still have gone and would like to go again in various capacities to go and be of service and of help to others, and not just training others to do it anymore. But yeah, and so these are all different like walks of life, and so I guess unless we explain this, then it's not known. And even when I did an interview with CTV or CBC, whatever it was, um, just before the pandemic hit, or like maybe around that time, I don't know. But there was like just someone that was affiliated, that was a reserve member, that he was affiliated with a white supremacist group, allegedly. And like it's not even like I was even given the time to even try to like verify with this guy before they wanted me to be online, on air or whatever. And I was like, I didn't say what they wanted me to say, which was, you know, like an anti like, you know, military, and like that they're all supremacist, like white supremacists, because that's not true, and it's not the reality. And there's a lot of people that I know, and again, like yeah, it's just not, I think, what the media portrays to people, which is unfortunate. And so yeah, like maybe just talk to more people that are even in law enforcement, right? Like these are people that are in service for like people of all walks of life, not the people that they know and were raised with possibly, but people that they know need help or may need help in life, because everyone needs help, right? Like things happen, and it's always better to be of service in a meaningful way than not. And so like you know, like accidents happen, so like they can be there for that. Fires happen, so it's great to have firefighters who risk their lives for your possessions, and for, yes, for you, life and limb, of course, but like they're also risking their lives for your possessions too, because they know they mean a lot to you. And even people that do waste management, with like removal, like they are willingly doing this because um, we all need it, right? Look what happens when like we leave garbage on the road, or like you know, inside for, you know, a month or two. And so again, if this were to be something where we weren't given these services anymore, we would realize very soon on that we may have taken these things for granted. I'll leave it at that for now, because I was going to get into colonialism and how there's a quiet way of going into countries and and overtaking the population and completely removing the systems in place of like ideologies, cultures, religions, things like that, or attempts are always made, um, and how that may or may not be happening in Canada, because a lot of our major businesses, like even lithium mines, and major businesses are already sold to China and to the States. And a lot of the major, you know, corporations and businesses and industries are not owned by people that are Canadian or that even live in Canada. So unfortunately, even Justin Trudeau, he never has been aligned with Canada or Canadian values. And if you look at his younger videos and stuff like that, he does believe that he's part of this like elite class of people that are occult, which means hidden. And he's talked about like going on top secret missions to places in the north and in the Antarctica and he's been all over the world, and most of the people that he affiliates himself with are not Canadian, right? And his businesses are not Canadian either, and that's not where, I mean, they're linked to Canada because he does exploit our resources and our stuff for profit. Um, but yeah, like he doesn't have any real true affiliation or empathy, I guess, for Canadians or Canadian values or norms and stuff like that. And he's willingly allowing um, people to have access um, to our homes, to our businesses, to our livelihoods, to our education systems, to our social media platforms, to everything, because he just doesn't care enough. Anyways, on that note, I don't want this to get negative because I hope everyone has a great day. These are all just like, I guess, more like real conversations than positive sometimes. And on that note, I hope everyone has a great day if I haven't already said it.